What's up, my fishing addicts? It is a special edition of Tackle Box Tuesday, and I'm bringing it to you today. So we're going to call it Flounder Rig Friday because this year, Fish and Wildlife Commission put it out that you cannot keep any flounder during the flounder run. So that being said, that means we only got a short amount of time between now and the run, and then shortly thereafter. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the two easiest flounder rigs and the ones that work the best, at least for me personally, in my area down here in South Texas. And it's just some easy stuff that you guys already have laying around the house. All right, so check it. The first rig we are going to work with is going to be the Get Her Done rig. Okay, so first, the three items you need are going to be your fluorocarbon, your weight, and your hook. And I prefer these wide gap hooks, as you can see. I will show you why in just a moment. All right, there's a special reason why I like to use these. And also, you can feel free to use a regular class swivel or a barrel swivel. Okay, that's personal choice. I like to use it because I can just keep a barrel swivel on my main line, and if it's working for me, I can choose to hook up, unhook real quick and easy without having to bother with tying extra stuff. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay, so now we're going to do the Get Her Done rig. I've already started, just because I don't want stuff everywhere. Take your little sinker, tie your fluoro to your sinker, which is really easy and self-explanatory. The next thing we're going to do is you're going to watch me fumble around trying to tie this hook on with tape across my finger. Take your hook, and best way I can say is to have the pointy end, the hook side, facing up, because as flounder go up, they're going to go up from the bottom, go down like that. That way the fish helps it hook itself. All right, so we take this right here, and I know I don't have a lot of room, but what I'm going to do is simulate this would be about 1 foot to 1.5 feet off the bottom. The bottom is where the weight is. So then we just take our hook like so, wrap it around as you watch me fumble. Okay, so we cross just like we're beginning any other knot. Just cross them, and then you're going to slide your hook through 1, slide your hook through the circle 2, and then third time's a charm. Now you pull that loop back like so. Make sure you lubricate your knot so you're not frying your line. Okay, now that we have it, like I said, we're simulating this is 1 foot to 1.5 feet off the bottom. So, as you can see, this goes here, and as you tug on the main line, the hook bounces, and that's where your jig is going to be. Now, if you're like me and you want quick access, all you got to do is put your class swivel on. Sorry, I'm being kind of fumbly about this. Like I said, I got a tape on my fingers. And then just do a real quick Palomar knot, if you will. And then there you go. It goes from here to here. And then as you bump it along, the jig will go along. Too easy. So you guys just saw the Get Her Done rig. What we're going to be working on now is the tandem rig. It's a little bit different because it has 2 lures instead of just the weight, but we do have a weight on it anyways. Typically you'll see these in the store with either a double shrimp on them or a double fish type lure. The ones I like to get if I do buy them myself are these kind, the glass minnow. They're relatively small, but they got a good hook on them, and If you know anything about Spanish mackerel, they love to snatch them up. And the other go-to is the swimming shad, because everything and its brother eats shad. All right, the three things you are going to need is going to be the same as the other, with the exception of one. Is your fluorocarbon. You are going to need another hook, and instead of your sinker, you're going to use a jig head. And of course, your optional piece of equipment is your class swivel. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so now we did the get her done rig. Now we're gonna move on to the tandem rig. Like I showed you guys earlier, it has 2 sets of hooks and 2 leaders. So the first thing we're gonna do is I cut myself about 3 feet of line. Commas are important. I cut 3 feet of line. So you just take your... Hi, Jackson. Dada. Okay, hold on, buddy. Just take your jig head. This will be your bottom one. Oh yeah, you see fishing stuff. Gonna be a little fisherman like Daddy. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. And then we go ahead and lubricate our knot. Okay, so it's nice and tight. Pull it down, and voila, that's the bottom. Now you take your other side. Grab your hook. Gonna go ahead and tie this other hook on. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Put it through the knot. Lubricate your knot. Pull it nice and tight so it bunches up, and then all right, so there's our knot. Now we have one end of the top, one at the bottom. You're probably asking yourself, Mike, why'd you do that? What about your class swivel? How are you going to hook it up to your main line? Well, that's easy. All you do is you take one hook at each end, and then just with one finger grab that, kind of like you're playing cat's cradle. And now what you do is you drop that side where your loop is, opposite of the jig head. So now you have the jig head 2 feet from this loop on the right, the bare hook 1 foot from the loop on the right, and now you just take your fluorocarbon, get your class swivel, loop it through, right? Cross it over, bring the loop through like so, as you guys can see that, and then we pop our class swivel right through there. Make sure you guys keep, you can see this, zoom in real close, that make sure you guys keep your fingers up here, that way this part of the fishing line doesn't wrap around this. So then you could give it a little push. All right, keep your fingers there. Now our knot's nice and tight. And I'm about to catch myself a Jackson fish. Now here we go. That's just simple as easy. Yeah. So now you got your top. And you got your bottom. This will be bouncing along, fluttering, and this, because there's no weight, will be fluttering in, so it'll simulate 2 fish. And as with all hooks, whenever you tie them, make sure you clip your tag ends. Yeah, more fishing stuff. And you are good to go. Okay guys, so real quick, with the tandem rig and the get her done rig, like I said, for flounder, so keep in mind whenever you go get your gulp or whatever type of lure you are using. I like to hook them like so. Going up, straight through. And then this way I can pull it out the top. And right here, you see the hook, okay? So it is bent in a little bit because it is the wide gap hook. Now, depending on the size of your lure, it may shrink like so. It may go down like that, like a typical J hook, but I like mine to be like this. That way it's pointed and it still has that extra curve, so that way when the fish hooks itself, just like with a circle hook, the fish is going to have a lot more of a chance of staying on. But I wanted to demonstrate because I wasn't able to do it in the other view I had. But here's your weight. Here's your lure. As it swims through the current, you're going to be bouncing like so. And this is going to be going, fluttering in the current. Okay, so now we got that. As I showed you before, let you get it done. Now we have our tandem. Same thing. What I try and do is I try and hook it so the hook goes up, because remember, flounder are a bottom fish. So when they come, they swoop up and then down, back to the bottom. So, that being said, when they go down, you want to go ahead and have them do the work for you and hook themselves, okay? Otherwise, you'll feel that thump, and that's when they get away. So you take your gulp on the one side, and you take your other on the other side. Push it through, give it a nice little arch before you go ahead and pull that hook through. So that way, like I said, the straight side is curved down a little bit, like this. All right. Now, as this goes along, as I pull up, you'll notice, remember, this one doesn't have the weight on it. So this is going to float freely. And then the bottom one right here is going to be the one that's bouncing. Okay guys, here's a real quick section of extra footage. This is what I was referring to before, so the shrimp. This used to be right here. This used to be a tandem lure, but one of the fish got off with it. I wanted to show you my tackle box just because of this. Alright, with different types of fish, they're always going to be hitting on different things. So I have these white jig heads. I have the red, that's a 1/4 ounce. I have this yellow, which is 1/8 ounce, and I have this one up here that I already showed you in the earlier portion of the video, that's a 1/4 ounce. So you can always feel free to go ahead and switch out the heads for the jigs that you attach to them, and you should be good to go. Also, last little tidbit, once you make your own, just get a little piece of cardboard, cut it up, snip little slits in it, and you can go ahead and wrap your thing around just like when you buy it in the store, and then you can package them together, so that way you're saving yourself a little bit of money and using household stuff. Alright y'all, I hope you found that to be informative and at least helpful during this flounder season, flounder run. Keep that ammunition, stick it in the back of your toolbox. Keep making those, because chances are you can get one roll of fluoro, big pack of hooks, big pack of jig heads, and make your own. So that way you don't need to be spending $2 and $3 and $4 and $5 for something you could spend $10 on and make a whole bunch. All right. So that being said, y'all make sure to keep them lines tight and them rods bent. Laters. It's done. Point A to point B. Hook the line. Sliver the line.